afternoon and welcome to this edition of the program 360 Degrees. We are sorry for the 2 minutes late start. Litigations at the Constitutional Council are over, and as it stands, we are looking at 12 candidates to battle for the presidential race on October 12, 2025. The litigations at the pre-electoral litigations at the Constitutional Council did not impose any major change, but for Hyncenth Zipang, who was disqualified after a series of hearings at the Constitutional Council, the candidate of the MP party was disqualified, and as it stands, we are looking at 12 candidates, except in case of a replacement at the level of the MP party, which by the Electoral Code had 3 days to do any possible replacement. And today we are focusing on the electoral trends on social media, the different mobilizations ongoing. How can the social media shape the 2025 presidential elections in Cameroon? That is our major focus for today. We shall be with you for the next 1 hour. Stay with us. You're welcome back. If you are just joining us, we are beaming live from Yaoundé. And like I said, we'll be with you for the next 1 hour on this edition of 360 Degrees, where we discuss the social media and the elections of this year. We are all in the social media, living the trends, participating in the different trends, and we are asking the questions, can the social media shape the narratives? To discuss this very important topic, we have some gentlemen in the studio that we are going straight to welcome. I have Bless Kwajika of the PCRN party. Bless, you're welcome.
Thank you. So, good afternoon to my co-panelists. It's always a pleasure for me to be here to share what concerns nation building, and also it's an opportunity for me to greet all the militants of PCRN who are seriously preparing on the field. Okay. And a warm greetings to all our sympathizers who have been beside us towards the tough, the difficult moments that we all know. And finally, we have had that grace to endorse our presidential candidate, who is Honorable Cabral. Okay. It's really a pleasure. I would really like to extend my greetings to all Cameroonians, be it nation or...
How did you battle it out with the candidacy of Cabral Libi that was under an appeal at the Constitutional Council this week?
Only the law that was being applied.
Okay.
Everything is the Constitution.
Okay.
You know, when you talk of the Constitutional Council, they are those who safeguard. They are the ones to speak what the laws, what the Constitution says. They are the guarantor of the Constitution. They are the ones to speak on behalf of Cameroon when it comes to the Constitution.
Okay.
And we have always said this, PCRN, we have always been Republican. Okay. In all our movements. We had a case filed against us at Kylie. You are aware of that, of which we had all success. We successfully win all the 5 cases against Mr. Conor Robert, who alleged claim that the party PCRN belongs to him, and of which we, as Republicans, those who abide to the law, we said political party do not belong to an individual. An individual cannot conserve a political party. It is an association, and this association have internal rules and regulations.
Okay.
And the party, all political parties are being governed by their texts.
Of course.
And if we had that success at the Constitutional Council, it means that what we said concerning the laws, what the text of the PCRN says, Honorable Cabral Libi is the legal and the legitimate president of PCRN.
Okay, thank you so much. I have Dr. Tumenta Kennedy. Dr. Tumenta is an economist, and he is also a consultant, not only national but internationally. He plays that role of consultancy in many countries. Doc, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be with you, and I look forward to exchanging on this very unique topic.
Thank you so much. And I have a colleague in the house, Mr. Kabiru Yusufa. He's a journalist and the publisher of Lestrade newspaper. Kabiru, welcome.
Thank you, Hyncenth. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to Blaise. Good afternoon to Dr. Tumenta Kennedy. I'm very pleased to share the panel with all of you, and I'm looking forward to contribute to the nation building through ideas. Yeah.
Everything being equal, we shall be having a fourth panelist on this set. Kabiru, let me just stay with you. You covered the petitions, the hearings at the Constitutional Council. Your global view of the process.
Yes, it was a very busy event that we all covered at the level of the Constitutional Council. We had 35 petitions that we filed by political leaders, political actors from various political parties. And we have seen a strong Constitutional Council made up of members who spent hours, 2 days, 72 hours, to hear litigations from various parties. And I think, as Blaise said, the law has just been set by those who are the guarantors of the Constitution, because all the parties were given the opportunity to defend their ideas. We have the defenders, lawyers who spoke, the plaintiffs who spoke as well. And there are some hectic debates on which the judges spent hours, the entire day, listening to all the parties in order to take a decision that is law-abiding. And I think it was a great experience. I, for one, it's the first time for me to cover such a big event. Okay. And I think I got a rich experience from that. Okay. It was quite interesting.
Okay. Yeah. Doc, did you follow the petitions? Your observation?
Yes, I think it proves once again that the country has the necessary institutional mechanisms to safeguard its citizens' right. And I really enjoyed the processes. I was open, the political parties went there, and the Constitution was put into place, and we had the verdicts, independent of how we want to judge those verdicts, but we believe that it proves that Cameroon has democratic institutions in place, and they respected the deadline, because one of the things I was wondering, are they going to meet the deadlines? But they did that, and I think that they have now set the stage for political parties to go out and start preparing, building their programs, and making sure that they entice the future voters to come on stage. We just hope, as Blaise rightly said, if nothing is put in place, we believe that 12th October, 12 candidates is the magic figures that we have to look at.
You guys seem so satisfied, even when a majority of Cameroonians were kind of dissatisfied with the verdicts?
I think it's not about, so we have to separate two things. Okay. You have the...
You separate the laws and emotions.
No, we have to separate the laws and emotions. Where we are is that, do we have those institutions? Were they able to play the role? So that's saying that, if the electoral law requires appeals to go towards the Constitutional Council, did they do that? Okay. And were they received? At that stage, we can make our comments, but depending on the results, we allow that for experts to be able to judge that. But we have to separate emotions from strategic decision making.
Okay. Let's go straight. Okay,
yes, what I want to say is that we can fully say that we are satisfied based on what we saw, the way the debates were organized, and the fact that all the parties were given the floor to express themselves. And that's what we also call freedom of expression. This is in our Constitution. And I personally, I saw pre-electoral disputes where whether you are from the Manidem party, whether you are from the CPDM party, whether you are from the PCRN party, you all are given the opportunity to speak and defend your ideas. Okay. That is what we are applauding. Yes. And now, talking about the reactions of Cameroonians, we all know we are not supposed to have the same reactions. The reactions are supposed to be mixed, both positive and negative, because that is the essence of democracy. Okay. Democracy is made in such a way that your own point of view should not necessarily reflect mine. That is what
our
makes
two points of views should
contribute to the nation building. That's all about the beauty of democracy. Okay. And I think we have actually experienced that.
Yes, I think you see you have two different points here. You see, he was in the hall, he witnessed it. Imagine that this thing was live, televised live, either on social media, so people can participate. And I believe that that's where we should be. You know, we should get into a point where people make informed decisions based on actual facts. So I think that if many Cameroonians would have had different opinions if they were given opportunities to actually have live, follow the live debate and get the deliberation directly. Okay,
we shall be coming back to you. Blaise, we don't have time. We have to dive into our main topic of the day, the social media. You are a political actor and you are backing a candidate. What are your activities like on the social media?
Concerning our activity on social media are always important in any organization, especially the world in which we are. We need to first of all understand the context, the environment where we are. That is, we are in an area of a globalization. That is, the world is already open. And new visions. People communicate mostly on social media. And you will see social media will be important. You will see the importance of social media and the disadvantages of social media. I will take, for instance, fake news, defamations, because at times you see that are some challenges. I'm already citing the challenges that we are facing, especially PCRN.
But before the challenges, what are the concrete activities you carry out on social media? Like
sensitization of Cameroonians, and also the recruitment of militants on social media. That is very, very possible. That's what we have been doing these past years. And also concerning the challenges, as I rightly said, we have a lot of disinformations. That is fake news that are circulating. That opponents use social media as a medium to channel information in order to tackle their rivals, if I can say so. But I think Cameroonians needs to be so observant, not to be deceived. We want Cameroonians to be focused on political programs of each candidate. There are 12. I think social media will be very, very important. Communicating on WhatsApp, Twitter, and all the like. Cameroonians should focus on the political programs of these political parties. And PCRN, you know, people often coin us as we are the youthful aid. Most of our militants are youths.
Youthful party.
Yes. And you see how social media will be very, very important for us.
I will be coming back to you. Let's welcome Mr. John Niba. Mr. John Niba is a teacher and a political analyst. Mr. John Niba, you had to meet us on the way.
I am sorry for that. You know, there is this uncivilized and so primitive behavior where a family will have an occasion, maybe a death celebration or something, and instead of them going to rent a hall, they come and block the road, and there nobody talks of disturbing public order. But when a citizen wants just puts on a T-shirt. They call it disturbance of public order. So I've been a victim of that today. I had to go round and round because my way, when I left the house and calculated, I came and met that the road was blocked. And then I could not pass there. And it is not blocked because of something important. It's because a family maybe has given bribes to the mayor or to whosoever, because I saw council agents there of on the 4. They blocked the road and put chairs and tents. Primitivity. In which European country can that happen? Even in Rwanda, it cannot happen. Okay. And then they send us into the bush. You go and struggle the way you like to struggle, which is not good. I'm sorry for my late coming.
Okay, you are welcome. We are already on the way going. I will be coming back to you. Let me give you some time to catch your breath. You are not only late, but you are angry with what you call primitive behavior. Yes, Kabiru, we are looking at the social media. You are a journalist. Yeah. The social media and the traditional media, of course, they are cohabiting to be able to inform Cameroonians. Have you been following the trends? You are reading of the trends on the social media, especially on the elections.
Yeah, it's very important. We can't deny the role, the important role that social media plays when it comes to informing the public opinion on the major decisions, major political decisions that are being taken on a daily basis, and that have a direct impact on their day-to-day life, on their day-to-day activities. We can't deny that. Yeah. I, for once, the newspaper I'm running is present online. Okay. Why? Because we have realized that there is an urgent need for traditional media to get adapted to new realities. Yeah. Nowadays, we used to know that Cameroonians, in those days, to get an information, they must follow radio or they must watch news on television channels. Yeah. But the narrative has quite changed. Yeah. Nowadays, with your smartphone, with your Google and YouTube, you have access to all information you want. And it has made it easy for people to get informed. Sometimes get information that even journalists, us journalists, cannot have. Sometimes it's an inhabitant from this or that neighborhood who calls you, are you aware of what is happening? I saw it on this person's Facebook account. So you see, this has changed the narrative. And I think, talking about elections, social media platforms are bound to play an important role in decision-making. Decision-making because Blaise Toyu is a political actor. He is militating for a particular political party. And their party is using social media at its fullest capacity to reach potential voters. Reaching potential voters by informing them what is their political party all about, what is their program all about, what do they propose to Cameroonians, because nowadays it's obvious Cameroonians are clamoring for change. They want change. But who is the best person to bring change? Okay, this is a mystery, right? This is a mystery, and that is where social media platforms come into play, because through social media platforms, everybody is connected, and you have a direct relationship. You don't need someone to come and play the role of mediator. There is no mediation.
You just need to get to Twitter and see that Pobia has tweeted.
Obviously, and that is what happened. That is what happened. Biya used a social media platform to announce his candidacy. Yes. Okay, something that 10, 20 years ago would have never imagined that. If you want to say that you are a candidate, you need to wait for a prime-time news broadcast to declare, make an official statement to say, I'm running for the presidential race. Whereas nowadays it's quite easy. And I thank God we have an economist here. Yeah. He would tell you how important, economically speaking, because nowadays you don't need to go to pay for a space on a TV platform or on a print media newspaper page to make a declaration. With your Facebook account, you have followers. You just tweet or say whatever you want to say, and they are aware of that.
Doc, WhatsApp, Facebook, what do you follow particularly concerning the elections on daily basis?
Yes, so I want to follow what Kaburia just said, which is about the power of the social media.
Yeah.
We have to separate these two things, social and media.
Yeah.
Social is where gatherings or where we gather. So sometimes we make a lot of errors with social digital media because there is social. I followed PCRM in the last years, in the movement, they were going, meeting people door to doors. That's where social medium to contact people.
Okay.
So today we have shrink the space in such a way that we have the democratization of information production, of information consumption, and information distribution. So of course I followed, I don't want to stay on single medium. I know that Canada also, they have their online spaces where they share their information, websites and all those. But I want to give you a statistics. I don't want to pick one of them. I'm not going to make a publicity of any medium because we have a lot of African social media platforms that are not being promoted. But what I want to say is that if you look at the internet penetration rate in Cameroon, which is approximately 41%, and if you look at mobile phone owners, which are mostly Android, then it tells you that this thing has to play a vital role. So I look at Facebook post, I look at WhatsApp post, you look at AI-generated content, which makes the things even complex.
Yeah.
People, AI-generated content, you're not even sure if it's actually coming from the right guy or not. So there's billions of money being made by someone else, but it's also give the liberty of political parties to be able to use open source spaces.
John Niba?
Yes.
You are very active on WhatsApp particularly,
Yes.
Following up the different candidates. Your global observation this far with what the actors are doing on the social media.
Yeah, I think there is a great deal of sensitization that is done. There is a great deal of denunciation, they denounce. You remember when the platform of Minat, before it was tampered with, social media already presented the information before and after.
Okay.
And so even on the day they proclaim the final, the decision was taken concerning CRN and other people at the Constitutional Council, there was no light in my neighborhood.
Concerning Manidem, no CRN.
Manidem.
Yes.
There was no light, thank you. There was no light in my neighborhood, and I had to that the network is so poor now, so poor, that it's difficult for information to go on they say, look at some countries that cut the social media in general, let me say social digital media, it has a lot of power because you cover so many people at a very low cost and a very short time. And I want to just call on those who consume information there to be very careful. And then you journalists to also sit up because you have been bypassed by the social media. They are now the real journalists, and then you people just do copy and paste, most of you.
We refuse to accept that.
No, I'm saying because before...
Like he was saying, it is a source, but then how reliable? That is where the question is.
I like the question, how reliable. It is the social media. It depends on those consuming social media information. Yeah. You don't just have to pick something. At times, I contact even some renowned journalists like Kabiru, my good friends, and others, to find out whether is this thing that I've seen, is it actually true? Yeah. At times, I have to go to different platforms to compare, to see whether the story is the same, before I can carry it around. We should not just take it like that, but I think the social media will have to play a capital role, especially on election day and during campaign. Yeah. On election day, I think the social media trends can be published. For example, if we have finished voting here, if there was if Canada was a polling station, at the end of the voting, when the ballots have been counted and the tally is still on the board, it is very easy to capture it with your phone and share so that they know that at this particular polling station, this person won.
Yeah.
And that one is natural because it's coming directly from the board. It has not been sent on a sheet, which is more authentic. And I think if that is done, fraud will be reduced. Okay. And then citizens will be prepared. Even if who wins, they will know that the trends have already indicated that this person won here, this person won here. And violence can be curbed down.
Okay. Bless, we have a phenomenon of influencers and their different supposed candidates. You've been following some of them. What is your reading of what they do on the social media as far as this election is concerned?
Yeah, the social influencers, they play a very great role. They play a vital role, especially when it comes to the youthful population.
Okay.
Because, you know, most of the people who trend on social media, they have of a particular age. And these people around them on their page, they have a good number of youth followers who are, at least they can be useful in terms of sharing maybe political programs or educating.
But is that what they do? Is that what most of them do? Because we see some of them very toxic on social media.
Yeah, you say something, it's very pertinent what you are saying. I think not all, but the few that I know. The few that I know who are already PCRN, we have convinced them and they are already working with us without making any publicity here. They are, at least they have get in contact with our political program and they have been propelling, sharing with the youthful population, because that's where the problem comes.
Yes.
That is educating the youthful population to get interested in politics. When you look at the registration, let's take for instance, if you go to Elecam actually, you look at the rate of the youths who have been registered on the electoral roll. It's very insignificant. Meanwhile, if these influencers who are in contact with this youth, if we can make good use of them and orientate their pages, that is their
How do you orientate their pages when they have an orientation from when they created their page?
Well, the thing is something of the state. That's where the state needs to come in play, because it's the state that has to regulate all these things that we are talking about.
Okay.
That is the content. What do we put on social media? In terms of content, it is the state. If the state wants to distract, wants to create a society, because at times when you see some of these people, they are just the reflection of the society.
Okay.
They just reflect. And those governing us, they are the ones to regulate what are the informations we need to distribute on social media. If you go in China, it's very difficult for you to see a certain type of prof is there. Doctor can best explain that.
Okay.
There are programs, that is those who govern, who have the governing apparatus, they are the ones to project which type of Cameroon do we want to build.
Okay.
And when we do that projection, we know the type of contents, and we also need to understand the environment, which I said from the beginning when I started, I talk of globalization. You need to first of all accept that we are now in the world where someone can sit here and communicate with someone in US and see what is happening maybe in Belgium or France without paying, as
John Neba
just said, low cost.
Okay.
In there, that is will reduce cost.
Okay.
You can sit here and you communicate with a brother, maybe in another country where democracy is advanced, and you learn a lot. So I will say this: if we want to build or really make the society, regulate the society, it is the state that needs to come in and know the type of content that is we need to put maybe in terms of laws.
Okay, thank you, Bless.
There are certain things that you don't need to communicate or pass bills when you go to the National Assembly. There are bills that they need to put in place in order to protect, and PCRN is proposing under that's chapter 10, concerning the sovereignty of our nation, that the sovereignty of our state, that is, we are talking of the digital world. We need to see how we can be adapted, that is how we can control can have our own social media where we control the Cameroon.
Or regulate what goes.
Yeah,
if you are watching us, you have the opportunity to contribute to our talking points through the number you have on your screen. Short SMS or WhatsApp, go straight to the point, please, so that we shall be able to take your reaction here. And we are equally live on YouTube. Just get into YouTube and you type Canal International. You'll be right there. Kabiru, I saw you itching to react when you were talking about the activities of influencers on the social media.
I wouldn't really like to call them influencers, but let me call them content creators.
Okay.
Yeah, and we all know what are the objectives of content creators, because this has become a profession. There are those who study content creation and earn a living through that activity.
Okay.
And there are a lot of them who are making millions of CFA francs on a daily basis through contents that they create and post on social media platforms. Now, all of us sitting here, we follow at least one influencer, one content creator, at least. Okay? So it means that the person has probably put something that pleased us and that convinced us to follow his content on a regular basis. And social media is organized in such a way that beside the financial benefits that it generates, I mean digitally speaking, because being a content creator, you have a contract with Facebook, be it Facebook, Twitter, you have a contract, and that there is a monetization process that you have successfully fulfilled before you start operating. Apart from that, nowadays there are adverts. Now, in those days, those who do publicity, they used to go to print media, they used to go to TV channels, radios. But they have realized that these are becoming old media. The narrative has changed. People are now much more connected to the internet, Facebook particularly here in Cameroon. And you realize that sometimes there are content creators who sign deals, who sign partnership agreements with enterprises. And talking about the presidential election, this is an opportunity for them to make money. And I bet you they are going to make millions of CFA francs from those who are vying to become the next president of the Republic of Cameroon. Because he said the PCRN has got into contact with a certain number of influencers who are promoting the ideas of the PCRN. It is either the influencer has been convinced by the political program and the leader of the PCRN, or he was given a certain amount of money. Because let us be sincere.
No, he's saying
he says it's either. Yes,
very pertinent.
Let us be sincere. I can't invest on cameras, I can't invest on microphones, all type of equipment that I need to build a reliable studio, place my product on Facebook, and then I'm not making money.
But you have views.
Yes, they go beyond that. They go beyond that because if you look at the monetization process of Facebook, there are taxes that are being paid, okay, that Facebook automatically cuts if you maybe succeed to get $1. It's not the $1 that you are going to perceive. There are taxes that they are going to cut. The economist is there, is going to tell us more about that. Okay. But the deal in which they gain a lot of money is the B2B partnership that they sign with an individual. Hyncenth, you pay me, I have a platform, I talk about you, and I know that I have 10,000 people who are following me. Among the 10,000 people, at least 8,000 will be convinced with what I say because I have an influence on them, because I have produced contents that please them, and then I can easily convince them to follow what you want.
Okay, Doctor, we see so many of them rely on the social media to send across their political programs. Is that enough? Can they comfortably hit their chest and say they are communicating or getting in touch with Cameroonians Maybe just through the social media.
Yeah, look, before the program, I had a nice discussion with Bless, looking at their party. And Bless said, look, if you look at the past election, you look at those who actually went voted. You see 2 million, 3 million, and there were a lot of voters that didn't take part.
Exactly.
Absentees.
Okay, absentees. And I asked him, so now what are you guys targeting? He said, okay, look, let's imagine we have 7.5 million up to 8 million voters that are there. And unfortunately, we have to make sure, unfortunately, if we want at least 70% to go voting, we need to use certain mechanisms. So first of all, they have to use that social media to get people, get their voting card and go and vote. Secondly, if you look at why is it efficient? How many Cameroonians of voting age actually use Facebook? You want to get a figure? 5.4 million. 5.4 million are using Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook only. So if you have a voting population of approximately 8 million registered, then you have 5-point-something million, then it makes sense. That is why you see all the parties are struggling to get in to make sure it comes, but it's not enough. It's a necessary but not sufficient condition to get people. I think what Cameroonians need is not all social media. You need to talk to them. You need a different agenda. You need to go to them, door to door, talk to them, get to them, explain to them, entice them to be able to go out and vote. And I believe that is where the change is going to take place. It's not going to be sending messages on social media, because you used, I think Bless is escaping from this issue. Are influencers manipulated? Of course, we live in a society where everything is manipulated. So, everything is being manipulated, and we live in false reality. People are really living in false reality that they do not understand. That is where perception and reality, ethics and reality has to play. It will be a game changer. Cameroonians know that all the parties there, they know that things are not moving the way it's supposed to move. Now, how do you convince these people to come in? That's why we need a blended solution, online, offline. And traditional media will play a vital role because the information overflow is so much. People get in, they don't know what to get. And that's why we us as economists, we ask traditional media, upgrade your website, make sure that you put your contents on your website, send them in, because as they prompt engineering has come in. You ask the question with AI goes online. If you have results on your website, they take it and they give it back. So I believe that we need a blended solutions, and it's very important.
John Niba, can we say young people have become so interested in this election because of the social media trends?
Of course, yes, and they regret, for those who observe, is that most young people, they concentrate on football, they concentrate on dancing, and you know that the social media, those who design them, they are very intelligent. What they give you, what they propose to you is what you like.
Yes.
It means that John Niba can be on TikTok to follow live political debates.
Yes.
There are heated debates on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then another youth will be 24 on TikTok and will only watch people dancing. Because they propose what you show interest in.
Yes.
And so, like the civil society, the work they should do is to conscientize and sensitize the young people to go towards content that has to do with the practical realities of this time, this period. If not, you will waste data. You may just entertain yourself with dancing to say that God, this is your chosen leader.
That is the person that will win the next election.
Cameroon, God has sent this one. And it is even shocked that one of those that God sent was not even validated by the, by the Constitutional Council. So prophets too, like elder brother there really put it, manipulation is everywhere. And you know there are some people who glue on what comes out of this and women of God's mouth as if it is the gospel truth. And now they tell you, I was really shocked with one Nigerian prophet who presented the youngest candidate who was validated and said, Cameroon, this is, God has chosen this one, but at the end, she was still calling on people to vote for that person. I think if God has chosen the person, I don't need to vote. Maybe I will walk into the polling station before I realize I have voted for him without knowing. So we have the work that social media is doing. And just to clarify with Bless, the NCC, the National Communication Council, has sanctioned online journalists.
Yes.
So there is always control. And I would not always like that you give the rope to be used to tie your feet. It is not for the political party to point out to the powers that be that you have to tie the feet, because for now we enjoy the liberty and the variety in content. I don't think the government should go dictatorial to orientate the content to their taste, because they will never orientate it to the good of those who criticize.
I see. So there's something here, and that will make a game changer.
Yes, it does.
So there's something that Mr. John Neba actually pointed out, which is predictive recommendation. That's the game changer. So if you pick up your phone and you just say, okay, Google, your phone's open, and you start speaking with it, means all of our phones are open. Every conversation we do is being captured. I mean, as one of the founders of the Information Bank, we understand that with predictive narrative, you can adapt your campaign to the type of people who actually who are actually going to vote, willing to vote, and seeking information. I think that that's where the engineering comes in. Social media will play a vital role for those who are capable of adapting, predicting. I go to Hyncenth, I know he's a journalist, and I sent him information about my agenda, my party. It's easy to do today. So I believe that that's the predictive technology, predictive narrative, predictive recommendation. That's what is being needed for the election. That's what people use.
Yes, permit me get back to John Niba. The phenomenon of hate speech. Manipulation at this time is kind of taking a very higher space on the social media. How do we handle that at this crucial moment?
You know, the worst form of hate speech is not noticed only on social media. We have seen it on recognized TV platforms.
Let's finish with the one on the social media before coming to...
Where somebody will shout that, I hate this person, and up to today the person is still moving around. You cannot say that hate speech is not a peculiarity of social media, but I've said that we need to be cautious the way we consume information there. And let me tell you, social media is open to so many people. By the time you talk ill against John Niba, somebody will come to bring you to order.
Yes.
There is some sort of self-control there that you don't talk like this. And even the social media platforms themselves, I know TikTok has suspended me. Facebook suspended me for 1 hour, for 1 day, for 1 week, just because of a comment. Okay. So they themselves can control. When a comment is reported, there are mechanisms to fight that hate speech there. When your comment or your video is reported, you can see that they say, okay, this video has been brought down because it does not respect community norms. So I think we should not be afraid. It is just that we should not worry about the phenomenon of hate speech. Politics is a heated type of something. Fireworks will be generated, but at the end, the objective is there. We are going in for change, and then we are not enemies. At times, somebody asks me, Mr. Johnny, but we watch people on TV, the way people clash. After TV, how do you cope? I said, no, we don't have any problem with anybody. We have a problem on the topic, and we are talking Cameroon. All of us want change. After that, we are together, we drink whistles. And that is the same thing on
It's a game of ideas.
I guess a game of ideas. Hate speech is being already controlled, and then the CNC can also bring, if the owners of the pages or the platforms actually mastermind the hate speech, they can easily be sanctioned.
Bless, he was making mention of artificial intelligence. It has become something else today. So, and we are getting into a very crucial moment where somebody can sit in his or her room, generate something, and then it will seem like the truth, and people are consuming. You politicians are getting into that.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's one of the challenges that we have on the field in order to keep yourself credit, that is, give that credit to your audience. That is, permit them to know that what you are giving, or you as a politician, because one of the things that the politician needs to keep is the credibility. your credibility in front of your electorate. And your opponents often use strategies on the internet. That's why I said it's very, very dangerous. It's good, same as it's very bad, because we have been victims. Honorable Cabral Ibi, for instance, there are people who have even declared on social media that Cabral Ibi has a mansion at Bastos with vehicles. Up to date, they have not yet presented, but they posted something on social media, and people believed on that content. And up to date, we are still facing difficulties to counteract that.
They're still looking for who produced the supposed mansion.
Yeah.
Well, let him declare his assets.
And that is where the problem is.
That's what I'm saying. It's good. Like John Neba rightly said, maybe during the period of election, in terms of results, when results are being counted, we can snap and you send on social media. But when it comes to content, it's very dangerous. And we need to see how we can keep security measures, how to protect the our social media platforms. Really is very challenging. It's very challenging.
Okay. I will come to you. Doc wanted to react briefly.
I expected Bless to hit and say that we are all agreeing that social medias are important. And people need to be informed to collect those voters' cards.
Yes.
People need to be informed to make informed choice. But Bless, tell us, we need the infrastructures. We need that internet are supposed to be there. Yes. Electricity are supposed to be there. Otherwise, we are going to make this social media information area benefiting those in cities. But somebody like me, being somewhere in Gokutunja, in Mbenje, in Babungo, it's difficult. You know, you hit and then you wait. You hit, you wait. So I believe that this is where we think that we need to create the space where...
Doctor, thank you for that question. I think we are now getting into governance. That is, how are we going to build infrastructures to accompany this? But it is not, we are for the opposition. We are not the one managing.
How do we make the social media an efficient tool?
Efficient? That's what I say. That's where the government needs to intervene. But unfortunately, we see that they are reluctant.
We are talking in less than 3 months.
Yes. Because social media, it's not today that we are using social media. It has been there. And that's what I say. We need to first of all understand the context, not the type of leaders who knows the importance of social media. That's why when we talk at times, the youth, people say, no, don't talk about the youth, because only a youth can understand the importance, because they are the ones who are on social media. Okay. 3%, like the bill that was being passed, each telecommunication agency, they have 3% that they give to the state. And I think it is a place for Cameroonians, that's the right, this is a moment, that is 20 October, this is the right moment that Cameroonians need to come on board and say, this 3% that is often collected from these businesses, these tycoons, the business tycoons on telecommunication, what are they really, what is the impact on the field? Because, see, it is very unfortunate when you just enter into Cameroon, when you're at the airport, this is doctor, he traveled. You're unable to write to your loved one that you have already arrived, because the quality is very, very poor. It is very, very poor. Okay. Talk less, he's saying go Okutunja. You are talking go Okutunja, we are still in Yaoundé. So, October, as we are going in October, each candidate needs to present what are your plans. We are already in the global war. We need, these equipment are very, very important. We need engineers who can dive on this domain and develop our sector. We have polytechnic, we have people graduate in polytechnics, people graduate in public. What are we doing with all these potentials? Okay. Doctor, yes. I don't think it's us from the opposition to answer that. Yes, it is those who are in power need to give their balance sheet. Because for them to get another mandate, you should condemn it. Yeah, that's what that's what I'm condemning. Okay, thank you so much. I'm saying those who have the right to talk actually on the condition of the social media, the quality of social media, are those who are in the executive.
They recently fined MTN and Orange to pay billions of CFA francs, but the money was not used to reparate the damage that is caused on us, the consumers.
Exactly.
Anyway, so, I will get to you.
I think if there was a CPDM militant here, he could have given us the balance sheet.
No.
What
they are also victims.
Anyway,
they are victims.
Yes, Kabiru. Yes, Kabiru, we are barely 2 months. to the elections. Today is August 9. We have September 9, October 9, and then 3 days to the elections. Social media users, how do they handle the numerous, because I know from now on, issues of manipulation, disinformation, misinformation will be floating the